Hi there, I'm Lou.
John?
Welcome to the website. If this is the first time you're looking at these videos, we do these most weeks. We call them Heart to Heart.
Yep.
Just me and John sitting in our kitchen, unscripted, which you'll spot very quickly. Just
Yep.
Wanting to just talk and be us and talk into your situation. The title today is Learned Helplessness. This is a quote from Medical News Today. Learned helplessness is a state that occurs after a person has experienced a stressful situation repeatedly. Partners of drinkers really qualify for that.
I'd say so.
Yeah, they come to believe that they are unable to control or change the situation, so they do not try, even when opportunities for change become available.
Yeah.
So, as the professor, where do you think that applies? What are the dangers for somebody living with a drinker?
Okay. This is research that was done by a guy called Professor Martin Seligman back, and I remember reading about it. I had to study this for my psychology degree, and it's quite a fascinating piece of research, because what happens is that people, even if they can escape from the situation, very often don't. That was what he found, but the important thing was this repetition of stressful situations, continually, and there is this feeling of just being trapped, and then accepting the inevitable. That's what it comes down to.
This is particularly true, I think, with victims of domestic violence, isn't it?
It happens with domestic. It happens in all sorts of situations. You can actually see this, time and time again. And people who are oppressed, they just start to accept it. They acquiesce. Very, very difficult.
Yeah. First thing we would say in any situation, particularly if it's what we call the no-go areas of if your drinker is violent, sexually violent to you or your children, if you feel as if you're really trapped, find the one safe person or the safest person in your environment and pluck up the courage to talk to them, if not go to a doctor. And just that first step of coming out of helplessness is to make that connection with somebody.
I think, let's look at learned helplessness. I mean, the situation that you are in, there is a repetition. You don't come to bottled up the first time your partner gets drunk, or the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the 143rd. Or, do you know what I mean? So the repetition is there. There's no doubt about it. You have gone through various attempts at pleading, etc.
The 4 Ps really are part of this journey, isn't it?
And nothing's working. So you come to the conclusion, consciously or unconsciously, there's nothing I can do about this situation. You come to bottled up. But this is the problem with learned helplessness: is you come to bottled up and you look for a solution which is instant, and it's not there, and the learned helplessness just starts to tell you nothing works. Nothing works, and that's the danger of it. That's the real danger of it.
If you're watching this for the first time, the 4 Ps, please go and look it up in our website, because it's really, really vital. It's the behaviours that we try over and over again that are very intuitive in a loving relationship outside of addiction, but very counterintuitive in terms of dealing with addiction. And there's nothing like the 4 Ps over and over again to increase this feeling of no matter what I do, no matter what I do, no matter what I do. So it's not just physical, then it becomes a mental thing, isn't it?
It does. I mean, if you look at drinkers, I'll look at my situation. I tried to give up drinking a few times and it never worked. So, I'm an alcoholic. That's what I do. And that's kind of the mindset you get into. I got out of it, a lot of people don't. Most people do, but a lot of people don't. And usually they get out of it by somebody else helping them.
Watch out for what's the point, no matter what I do. this situation is never going to change. You know, you're never going to change. We are never going to get better.
Yeah.
These are the kind of the negative loops that begin to go around in our head. And
I mean, one of the things that we quite often hear is, "Oh, I've tried that. Oh, I've done that. Oh, you know," and I go, "Have you?"
Yeah.
You know, and it's quite often difficult to get through that barrier.
Yeah, because actually they've tried it once, and what we say again, quite repeatedly, is that these things, you know, they take time. They often need to be repeated.
Yeah.
You don't often see what's happening on the outside, but it makes a change. And you know, we have regular feedback from people, you know, and that feedback often talks about a journey that goes like this, up and down, you know, but that they're gradually the situation has changed, and you know, and we are so heartened by then. You know, so you know, but I don't think we've ever had a thing that said, "Oh, I found your program, and the week later my situation was completely better, thank you." Ever?
No. Still waiting for it. Yeah.
So it's a journey out of your situation. It is sometimes hard work. It's hard work emotionally. The emotions that you have to kind of flog on through, like anger, anxiety, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, you start small.
Yeah.
And that's how people overcome learned helplessness. You don't start by saying, "Okay, right, you need to start up here. You need to start with this really hard." No, you don't. That's not how. If you're treating somebody with learned helplessness, you say, start small.
Yeah.
Small. Once you get a small win, it gives a wee bit of hope. Then look at a bigger win, a bigger win, a bigger win, a bigger win. Recently, I've started running. Yeah, no, laugh. But I didn't start by booking up for a marathon, you know. I started by sort of walking, running. And I just run for a wee bit, walk for a bit. And what I'm starting to find is that my stamina is starting to build a wee bit. But I didn't start with a marathon, you know. I'm starting with walking and running. And you know, walk, run, repeat is easy. And slowly but surely, my confidence and my stamina are starting to build. So this is what we do with the program. You start with something small, and that's what the stop is all about. You know, just stop making it worse for a start. You know, and then start looking for wee wins, just small wins. That's all. You know, and that's how you get out of this. You know,
and be very kind to yourself. You'll build up something. You'll build up a new pattern, and then your drinker will be your you know, whether it's your parents, your partner, you know, or an adult child. They'll do something particularly hurtful and particularly awful, and you'll blow up, and you'll go back to old pleadings and punishing and everything else. And if you do, that is really understandable. Be incredibly kind to yourself and just say, "No, I need to stop that now." With learned helplessness, they do say it starts to change with the way that you think, and as you change the way that you think, then you change the way that you behave.
Yeah.
So,
but also it's about looking and seeing the wins that you have made. It's about, you know, taking pride in those. It's also, first of all, it's about recognising them. You know, I mean, I've used the analogy often about, you know, climbing a mountain, and you know, and you think, "Oh dear, this is awful." But when you look back, you start to see the view. You start to see how far you've come. You know, we can only tell how far we've come by looking back.
yeah.
Because if we're looking forward, there's still a lot of mountain there. You have to look back. You know, and that's about recognising that.
And remember too, Beauty for Ashes is about spiritual empowerment, and getting spiritual empowerment is an integral part of the 12-step program.
Sure.
You know, and the reason it's an integral part and introduced at the beginning is that there's a power greater than yourself that comes and helps you. So again, you know, you don't have to be helpless, because there's help. There's help here. There's, I believe, help up there.
Sure.
You know, so so be aware that you may have just kind of stultified, is that the right word?
Stultified is as good a word as any.
Yeah.
It's a nice word for this time of the day, isn't it? Stultified.
Yes.
It kind of, it's almost onomatopoeic. I mean, it's sort of, sounds the way what it means.
You can tell he's a wordsmith. He absolutely loves words. So be encouraged. We are here. We will try to be with you every step of the way. Watch disappointment. Disappointed expectations are an absolute killer. Just keep slowly applying the program. Listening to the videos. There's lots of stuff out there. And take encouragement. I mean, we've got things that come to your thing every day, isn't there? We've got little kind of...
No.
Have we not got that anymore? No, I thought we did have that.
No, well, that's for drinkers.
Oh, right.
It's for 30 days.
Is there not? I thought there was one.
Nope.
Okay, well, there used to be something about... I'll investigate that.
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
No, there never was. It's always with drinkers.
I did them, so I know they're there.
Oh, those?
Yes.
Oh, those, yes.
Yes.
Those. Right. Yes, but if you sign up for them, they're there.
Yeah.
For 30 days.
Yeah. So there's Beauty for Ashes, or there's for 30 days, I just basically kind of say, here's where you can get some spiritual help. The spiritual help is so well recorded as being, something that really does help people. So if you've learned helplessness, you can unlearn helplessness.
Yeah.
And we hope this video has helped you. Again, feedback, and we'll just keep the dialogue going, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slow and sure.
Yeah.
Slow and sure.
Yeah.
It's you kind of you got into the learned helplessness state through a kind of drip feed. You get out of it in a very similar way.
Yeah, that's good.
But
that's true.
after you sort of get some wins, then it accelerates.
Yeah.
There is a kind of exponential curve. Of recovery.
Yeah. And bring your friends, your family in on the journey. And seek their encouragement and help and consolation, and a really good relationships kept me going with my first husband. They were the arms and the comfort and the encouragement as I kept going. And one in particular, Faith, was just there for me day and night. So your friends and your family are really important on this journey.
She was well named, wasn't she?
She was. Yeah. So thank you for listening.
Okay.
Check in again soon. All right, lots of love. Bye.
Bye.